of the best possible learning environment for our students. Throughout this time, and especially the last 11 years as a charter school, I have pushed for a continual analysis of our practice, that we face our deficiencies, and that we implement better practice, and that we celebrate our successes. And we've had many successes. But more fundamental to our success, and more important than any change process or organizational structure or unique schedule, is the safe and secure learning climate at our school. All of our work to improve academic success for all of our students is built on and incumbent on having a foundation of safety and security. In response to all 4 of the teacher sexual misconduct incidents at our school, we took the same consistent action to openly and honestly deal with them as potential criminals, to protect and support our students, to keep our parents informed, and further educate and train our staff. I want to address 2 of the problems in the ESI report. I first became aware of the existence of ESI and the private investigator Robert Price when, after a phone call, and he showed up at my office and announced himself to be the district's private investigator. Although he had no credential identifying him as such, he began questioning me and informed me that he would be examining confidential personnel and student files, and he would be interviewing employees. This raised many concerns, and I requested that he provided a written documentation, which he never did. My concerns were magnified when I found out that he had not been hired by the district, that he was in fact a disconnected third party who was not going to be supervised, who had no responsibility to maintain the confidentiality of the materials he wanted to see, and when we raised these questions in writing, we received no response. On the second note, the report erroneously concludes that the school staff are untrained and poorly practiced in mandated reporting of child protection issues. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Helix staff is trained and works on a continuous basis with county CPS and law enforcement on student protection issues. The intent of the reporting law and our responsibility as educators is to keep students safe, and we must take deliberate action to do so. And when we have reasonable suspicion that child abuse is occurring, we must report that suspicion. In dealing with a suspicion of sexual misconduct by a teacher and a student, that's a crime. The most appropriate agency to report it to is law enforcement. Determining if there is a reasonable suspicion in support of an allegation, taking action to make sure that a teacher who is suspected of such has no further opportunity to have contact with that student, and determining if the student is safe at home, along with reporting to the police, are all part of the process of keeping a student safe. It's not enough to simply file a report with CPS. This board needs to take the necessary time and through an appropriate process to determine the best course of action. Helix is committed to improving its practice and is willing and desirous to work with the district. But to proceed with this adoption of this notice is the wrong thing to do. The ESI report and our report showed many discrepancies